Here is my impression of local Dallas Mavericks radio in Dallas, Texas, after the Dallas Mavericks defeat the Toronto Raptors in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Well, I was looking at my satellite on top of the TV. I think it was Elon Musk's satellite. It must have broke down, so I had to go on the internet and go onto the NBA.com. I was watching the Dallas Mavericks game, and it was against the Toronto Dinos up in Toronto, and I could feel it. I could feel it in my bones, and Luka starting to pull out the doves and starting to get the magic going, and I was like, okay, I'm starting to get a little heated. My palms starting to get a little sweaty. I started to get the goosebumps. I'm like, oh, he's gonna do it. And I was like, triple double starting to get a little close, and as he was starting to go, I was like, wow, look at this boy. He's starting to get that triple double. I started taking my clothes off. I was getting so excited. I started to take my clothes off, took my pants off, and I was like, oh, he's gonna do it. I started taking my shirt off, and my wife walked in. She said, what are you doing? So I'm doing this for Luka. Won't you shut your mouth and go get some more meatloaf, you dumb little twat? Welcome back to the Sports Ethos Toronto Raptor podcast. And I'm your host, Mr. L. Hoopo. And I'm here with A.Rod and Max P, your brother praying man. And today, well, it's the trio. It's the big three. We're back together once again, and we're going to chop it up like we just got some new fresh yay. And let's go. What's going on, boys?
What's up, boys?
Hey. No 50.
Put your clothes back on. Oh, look, I was going to take my clothes off. It's getting so close to triple-double.
Yeah, well, we need like a camera crew and start like filming these skits, man.
Yeah. Well, speaking of camera crew, and there was some big lights last night for Luka, with Luka being in town and Kyrie being in town.
MVP.
Yeah, man. Dallas came out with the win, as most know, 136 to Raptors 125. So why don't we go around the table? It hasn't been just the three of us in a while, so this should be fun. So give me one word, A-Rod, hit me. What would you come out of this game with? In one word, what you got?
Daycare, man. Because I'll tell you what, man, all these guys, they look their age on the court, man. Luka was just toying with these guys, man. Like he was a guidance counselor or like just a social worker, whatever the fuck you want to call this guy. But man, I knew the game was over, and it was crazy. I knew the game was over when this guy went down the lane, did that behind the head pass to Tim Hardaway.
Oh my God.
To the corner when he didn't even see him. Like he just knew where he was supposed to be, and he just dropped it to him, and it was like, nah, this game's done, man. You can't be doing those kind of shits unless you're like supremely confident that you're just gonna rock out the whole game, man.
You talk about to add to that, man. Supremely confident. Alvin Williams said on air. Did you catch that when he said he is the greatest passer of all time? And he was naming off Magic, and he said, no, this guy right here, seeing him in person courtside, the greatest passer I've ever seen in my life.
That was crazy,
I disagree. Man. I think Joker's a better passer than Luka.
And he brought up Joker too. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I mean, I would still say Chris Paul in his prime.
Man,
I've never seen
Chris Paul in his
prime.
And like you're talking about in their prime, well, it's Magic, and nobody, and we're going to talk about second. Chris Paul might be second, yes.
Yeah. Elvin just fell in love last night.
I mean, like when you watch Luka, it's like it's an event for sure.
Yeah. And the reason I'm throwing out Chris Paul is because I'm talking about guys that I've watched live play. Yeah. And like I seen Chris Paul back in the day when he was on the Hornets, and like that shit just blew my mind.
Craziness.
Yeah.
He's the blueprint. Like perfect point guard, you know.
Yeah. All right, so we got daycare. What do you got, Max? I like that. Daycare.
I got measuring stick. You know, Dallas is now a team that I feel like is good. Yeah. And so when we play Dallas, you know, I expect to lose, and I want to see how well we play. And we played well. We fought all the way through. And
you're putting Dallas there, huh? You're putting them at
this season. Not at the beginning of the season, but I'd say maybe about 20 games in, I was watching them play, and I was like, you know what? I think they're one of those teams this year.
I like it. Mine is seeing it was Luka's 25th birthday. I think he was eager to get out into the
25.
Toronto nightlife at 25 years old. So I'm going to say turtlenecks and gold chains, because I'm sure he had a turtleneck for the cold and the gold chains for the thangs. So, so happy birthday to you, Luka Doncic, and it was a sight to watch last night, I must say. But turtlenecks and gold chains. But I do want to stay in this game for a little bit and just talk about the Raptors here. And I want to start it off and just by saying that I think Kelly Olynyk, I'm going to say it again, Kelly Olynyk is a perfect fit for this team, and I'm going to continue to say it. He's not flashy. He's not scoring the ball 20 plus, whatever. But this guy is a perfect fit. I just want to keep saying that, and I'm happy he's on this squad right now.
Shout out to Scarborough. Shout out to the East End.
I'm just gonna say that East Side Scarborough is in the house. So, what else did you see in this game from the both of you that kind of opened your eyes, or maybe at the same time made you want to close them?
I'll just touch on a little bit of that Kelly Olynyk topic there. I do think he's a good fit. I agree with you for that. What I do like about him is he genuinely wants to be here. Most guys who are older and are vets will not want to come to a team like this that's clearly in a rebuilding mode with a lot of young guys. But he actually wants to be here. You can tell on the court he's genuinely trying. He's trying to coach these guys. He's looking like he's excited on the bench. So it's a really, really nice fit and really nice sight to see that. So that's really nice. Other than that, the Raptors, I mean, they're playing with a little bit more energy. It looks like the ball rotation is a lot better. The defense is still lacking, but at least, there's a little bit more of like an identity. We're seeing some clear-cut rotations where you're having like IQ on the floor at all times as the lead ball handler, or you're getting like RJ Barrett coming in or Scotty like just playing off of them too. At least there's a little bit more set rotations. It's not just all over the place and just figuring out like who's going to be on the court. Yeah. So it's nice. It's good to see them win the 3-2 because. Hey, pizza
we didn't speak on that.
Pizza.
They got their pizza. Supposedly, Darko bought Maker's Pizza, so shout out to Maker's Pizza.
Oh man, fuck Maker's. That's just
I know.
I don't even care, man. You could never get us to get sponsored by these guys, man. That shit is so salty.
No. It's got to be one night only or north of Brooklyn. That's in my eyes. Yeah. Well, I like your take there. What about you, Max? What would you see that you liked or disliked, whatever?
What I saw was the team that can figure out a way to score when you're not hitting the three is going to win a lot of games in today's NBA. You know what I mean? Like if you can bottle that up and not sort of let that secret out the bag and make adjustments when you're not hitting the three. Shoot, if you can find a way to do that.
Yeah, man, I agree.
Big stuff.
I think I could take from both of you with what I saw, what I enjoyed is the one thing they are fun again to watch. This last week or two since the All-Star, since they came back from All-Star, they are fun to watch again. But before that,
raps.
Like they all of a sudden, okay, boom, like and that's the thing is people don't understand that it's like it takes time to mesh, especially when you have a new team. It was pretty much a brand new team. And, you got to figure out egos. You got to figure out this guy. You got to figure out that guy. You got to, it's the same thing outside of the basketball court. You got to figure out your friends and figure out the people around you. So it's just nice to see, and it's fun to watch again. And, win or lose, the young guys are starting to get more play, Grady and et cetera. So it's nice. It's nice to see.
I was just going to say that too, man. We got to give a salute to Grady. Yes. Go search up his name on Pornhub. This man he's on fire right now, man.
He is, man.
He's shooting like 58% from three right now. Looking nice.
Confident.
You know what I really like about him though is that he's actually making cuts and reads.
Yeah.
That doesn't show up on the box score, but when you watch him, he's always moving, which is nice.
Yep.
So
right off those screens, he's brushing off these dudes. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah,
Grady
shout out to
D.
Grady Dick. Grady D.
It's still in need of a nickname, desperately.
G-Dick. No, I can't.
No. We can't do it.
You don't want to be on like a pod and then being like, yeah, they caught that G-dick.
Oh, and to add to it too, IQ is looking really nice right now too. Super confident, flowing. His floaters are starting to drop. It doesn't look so just straight line. All of his shots were just kind of, everything kind of looked a little bit, I don't know. It didn't look fluid. And now it's starting to look like he's having more fun out there. He's dancing. And yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him talking about making an adjustment to playing starters and playing more minutes and working his offense, adjusting his offense to that.
Yeah.
It looks like he's getting more and more comfortable. I mean, he looks comfortable as a Raptor, and that's all I really want sort of from IQ. I feel like next year is like it's time to go. You know what I mean? It's time to start criticizing this game, criticizing his role. But this year, I feel like he's starting to really get comfortable.
Yeah.
Like figuring out how to be a starter, you know?
Yeah. Speaking of getting comfortable, the coffee shop I always talk about with the guys.
Hey.
Like they're getting real comfortable with playing the pod in the coffee shop. They're getting real comfortable, like asking me like questions, as you guys know, right? So like it was today I went in there to get my beautiful dark roast coffee, and I went in there and Nino's in there. Everybody's like, it's starting to become a thing, right? So I go in there and I go sit down beside Nino's cousin. Never met him before. They call him Susu. I don't know why. They just call him Susu. So I sit down beside Susu, and Susu, I think he's about 40-ish. He's around my age, right? And the thing is with Susu is that when I was sitting beside him, when he would move, I would look down at my really nice, clean black hoodie. There was powder on it. Every time he moved, he was shaking off powder because he was so dry. His skin was so dry.
Eesh.
And he's I think he's Portuguese Italian. And he was just so dry, and it was just getting all over my Gildan, just all over the place, right? And I was like, I had to keep moving, and it was just flying over. So I said, hey, like Susu, stop moving, man! Like you're floating these flickers over here. You're getting me powdery. He's like, yeah, I know this is one of my problems. I said, well, he goes, you know of anywhere I can get some help for my problems with my powder? And I said, well, I'll ask the boys. So, boys, you know where Susu can get a little bit of help on the moisturizing? He needs to get moist.
we got this spot.
What's the spot?
This spot got all kind of stuff to help with your issues. Goodness gracious.
Where's that spot? He needs to get moist. Like he's got some problems going on. Where's the spot? For all your moisturizing needs, Popeyes can help you out.
Yes, sir.
Susu, if you're listening, just go get some lotion. You can get that from anywhere. You don't have to go to Popeyes. But anyways,
take care of that. Take care of that reptile skin, man.
Look like a green lizard. All right. So as you know, that means it's another edition of this or
that.
Yes, sir. All right. So Dallas was in town. So we're gonna keep it in Dallas, and this one's gonna be fun. So here's one we haven't done before. So what I'm gonna do, I took two old Dallas Maverick point guards, and I want you to tell me, if you were starting a squad, which one of these legendary point guards would you make your starting point guard, and why? Would you have young Jason Kidd from, I believe he's from Oakland, if I'm not, am I right? He's from Cali.
Yeah, he's from the Bay Area, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's from the Bay. So we got J Kidd or Steve Nash, Canadian boy. Now keep it out of your decision that the fact that, Canadian boy and he's Canadian, Morgan Canadian, but Steve Nash or Mr. J Kidd, who likes to have a drink from time to time. So J Kidd or Mr. Steve Nash. Who you got? Right?
It's a good one, man. Man.
It's
actually a hard one because J Kidd was Mr. Triple Double long before anybody was, right?
Yep.
I mean, with the exception of Magic and probably Oscar, but out of the '90s generation, he was that guy.
He was that guy, for
literally.
Sure.
But the only thing with J Kidd was he never could shoot very well. I think he was lifelong, career long, around 40% from the field.
Definitely when he was in New Jersey.
Yeah, so he was not really incredible at that, whereas I feel Steve Nash was incredible at pushing the pace, finding guys, building other guys' careers for them, and also being criminally underrated on offense because he didn't actually shoot a lot. He was very low on like field goal attempts, but his like efficiency was nuts.
You're right. He made so many careers in Phoenix, remember? Like all those guys,
Amari, Sean Marion,
all those boys.
I mean, Raja, like all those guys. I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna go with Steve Nash.
Ooh, I like it.
You know, I'm. This is coming from somebody who thinks Steve Nash took 2 MVPs from Bron and Kobe, but I do think he was better in his prime. I will have to say that.
So you got Steve Nash in his prime. That's your starting point guard out of these two legends, though. Absolute two legends. All right, so we got Steve Nash on A-Rod's squad. What about you, Max P? Who do you got, J Kidd or Steve Nash as your starting point guard for the Max P All-Stars?
Steve Nash, 100%.
Oh, that was quick.
Criminally underrated.
Man.
Those 2 MVPs did not help his case because he did not deserve them. But, man, he was just criminally underrated.
Yeah.
Complicated legacy, but definitely a hero out here when he took over the Team Canada and really got that in order.
Would you say complicated
legacy?
Legacy, yeah. That's
where
truth.
You know, because like people think about those 2 MVPs and they don't rate it, but they know Steve Nash is nice, and so it's like it's weird. You know what I'm saying? It's weird.
I agree. All right, 2-0
and he was in the West too, and that was a rough thing he had to overcome with the Lakers in San Antonio, and
good point.
Yeah,
the West was tough then too.
Unfortunate that he was going up against all those guys just to get off the West.
Yeah. All right, 2-0 for Nash. For me, I love J Kidd. Old school J Kidd was crazy. Like you said, Mr. Triple
from California, man. He was a monster.
Yeah, and he was one of the first big time California point guards too, who had a rough side to him too. He was tough. He could take a hit. He had a lot of heart, a lot of fight. You could just tell he had that side of him. He had that dog in him. And Steve Nash, I heard his story, and this is why I'm going to make it a clean sweep for Steve Nash, and not just because he's Canadian and none of that, but I talk about heart, and I love heart. I really do judge a lot of basketball players in my mind with the heart that they have and how much grit they have and soul they have in the game. And Steve Nash, I heard a story that I believe it was in Phoenix when Quentin Richardson was there. Quentin Richardson, they were trying to hold that team together to make that one more run with D'Antoni at the top of the helm. They were going to make that run to try to do it when they were running that high-octane offense, and there wasn't enough money. Ownership wasn't. The contracts weren't working out, and they were going through negotiations with Quentin Richardson, and Quentin says that they were like, well, we're not going to be able to pay you that, so he may have had to go. And Steve Nash found out about this. You know what Steve Nash said? He comes in, he goes, no, take that money off of mine and give it to him. We're keeping Quentin here. We're keeping Q here. And so he took the money off of his to give to him so that he could keep the squad together. I was like, not only is that just a G move, but that is what a true leader does. And that to me is what you want in your point guard, and that says a lot more than just handing over some money. That says the stuff that's going to be handled in the locker room, the stuff that's going to be handled on the court, the trust, the honest, all of that stuff. And you need that in basketball. So Steve Nash, clean sweep. Boom. Yeah. All right, this next one. And I wasn't even a huge Steve Nash fan, but I heard that story. I was like, man, I like that. All right, next one. This one's going to be funny. So I was going through the old school Dallas Mavericks, and who had the better tuck-in game? Mike Finley.
Still clean out here. Still clean out here.
So clean. Who had the better tuck-in game? Mike Finn, or Michael Jordan? Who had the better tuck-in game? Mike Finley or Michael Jordan? Who had it tucked in tighter and cleaner?
all I'm gonna say is Michael Jordan belongs with other guys in the NBA who just could not dress well. This is criminally underrated in terms of bad dressing. Him, Tim Duncan, Mike Finley would still take my vote Only because I don't even care about his tuck-in game. Whenever I
Yeah.
see Michael Finley, I always remember, I like Michael Finley back in the day. But that fucking cartwheel and the dunk-off, I don't know, that
half a
always
cartwheel.
plays
That's
in my
half a
head.
cartwheel.
That was a cartwheel of sadness, man.
Oh,
my man just went down and did like I don't even know what that was.
About
that was just like a half leap. That was like that Willy Wonka experience going on Twitter right now, man.
That was rough.
I forgot about that. So who you're saying better tuck-in game? No, you're going Finn, huh?
Yeah,
man. He used to have it so tight. What about Max? Who you got? Mike?
Oh, it's Mike Jordan, man. It's Mike Jordan all the way. All the way. I mean, for the youngest that wasn't there, all they know is modern day Mike. And that's not a good look.
Yeah.
But it's stuff, sneakers is dope though, and the money is look good, and the business moves are dope. But his fits, nah. But cigar smoking boss Mike, back in the day with the 90s style suits he always had his tank top. Yeah, he always had his tank top and his t-shirt tucked perfect for the Nike ad with the shorts and the new sneakers. He always had that tuck right. Bugs Bunny be there or Spike Lee be there, but this tuck game was always just right.
Man, that's so true. He always had it perfect right there.
Yeah. It's just nowadays it's there's no glory in Mike Jordan's fit nowadays.
No.
But back in the day when it was Mike Jordan gambling all night, cigar smoking, baggy suit Jordan. Oh, come on.
Baggy suit Jordan, man. I saw who was it? I think it was DeLon Wright at one, or his brother. I can't remember which one it was, but they tried to bring back the baggy suit and showed up pre-game in one of those baggy suits. Something like that just looks so crazy now.
It looks so crazy. When I watch those 90s movies, I'm like, what is all that material? What are you doing?
Like, where did they get all the material from? Like, it's so crazy.
It's crazy.
Oh, man. All right, so we got one for Jordan and one for Finley. Man, you know what's funny is that when I saw Michael Jordan, when I saw Jordan with his tucking game, I just thought it was just because, you know what, he's just he's the king. He's just always, professional. That's Michael Jordan. Yep. Didn't even look at it like it was something, right? So it didn't seem odd to me. It just seemed, that's Michael Jordan. But when I saw Mike Finley do it, it seemed, I don't know, it just seemed not off, but just, I don't know, it just seemed
like he was doing a thing.
Yeah, like he was doing a thing, and he was trying to overdo that thing, too, because it's like,
look at me, I'm doing the thing. I'm doing the thing.
Look like I'm tucking it in real good, like I'm going to church and I'm staying at church for the rest of the weekend. Good, you know what I mean?
Collection plate clean.
Collection, absolutely. So I have to give it to Jordan on this one because he made it just like I agree with both of you. Like besides the tucking game, besides like his clothing and all that, no, it was not a good look. But I have to give it to Jordan for the tucking game easily because everything was tucked in. It was tucked in perfectly. Finley just overdid it.
Shout out to Mike Finley.
Oh, shout out to Mike Finley.
2-foot legend.
Man, look at that hair right there too, man. Mike was looking at his hair like, I wish I had some of that.
Some of that. I cut it off.
You see how he's wearing the jersey with the cut T-shirt underneath the tank? Man, I used to do that to everything. And you remember the tights under your shorts?
Yeah, so Jordan. Jordan came with that. That's because the shorts were too short back then, right?
Yeah.
So you had to do with the tights to give it that length. Pippen used to run with that too.
And then the tensor bandage on the calf. Even though my calf didn't hurt, I'd put it on my calf.
Okay.
Remember? Yeah, right. All right, cool. I didn't tuck in though, because I was like, this doesn't seem right.
No, I didn't do the tuck for sure.
No. All right, so next up, we got a street fight, and this is two old school Dallas Mavericks. We got Eric Dampier in this corner, big boy.
Jesus.
Eric Dampier, This guy, man, he was a beast. I remember one of him on the Raptors.
Big dude.
So Eric Dampier versus Chris Kaman.
I used to call him Chris Caveman.
Chris Caveman.
I used to call him.
I've never heard that before.
You remember?
That's what I used to call him.
Yo, man. You remember when he was on the Clippers, man, and he had hair?
Chris Caveman.
Yeah, he was losing it fast.
Yeah.
He was losing it so
quick.
fast.
Because he was in a cave trying to make fires every night, just making up flint. His hair caught on fire. Oh man! So Chris Caveman, man, that is so good. Chris Caveman versus Eric Dampier. Who do you got?
This is an easy matchup for me, man.
Who do you got?
Who you got?
Chris Kaman, 1 million, 1 billion, 1 trillion%.
Wow!
Why?
Look at the confidence too.
Listen, anybody that escapes the Clippers from back in the day and still goes on to play basketball.
What a trash can fire.
Man, you gotta have some Tom Hanks, castaway survival skills, man. This man could just survive off of anything, man. The Clippers were probably, I think, the worst franchise in all of pro sports during that time.
They ruined careers.
Look what it did to his hair.
The only person that got out was Lamar Odom, but we realized he never got out. He was a mess.
Yeah.
He was a mess when they traded him from LA.
You remember how hyped they were when they got Darius Miles?
Mm-hmm. Darius Miles, his career never survived the Clippers. The Clippers destroyed careers.
So
the only person that actually got somewhat of a career boost from being on the Clippers was Corey Maggette. Yeah. And I don't know if you remember this.
Corey Maggette did parlay it a little bit, yes.
But Corey Maggette got that boost not because of the Clippers. He got it because 2K used to run his body image and superimpose all the models that they had for all the players, just to make sure that they look like Corey Maggette.
Yeah, Corey Maggette. Shout out to Bane from Memphis, trying to be the new Corey Maggette out here.
Trying, man. Nah, man. Yeah, I remember
Corey Maggette was huge.
He was huge.
He was Diesel.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Diesel, Chris Caveman was not Diesel. This guy, he's got a body type of what's his name? Cherokee Parks mixed in with man, I'm not gonna do that to Chris Caveman because he looks like he could be related to me. So who you said Chris Caveman? Okay, Max P. Who do you got? Eric Dampier or Chris Caveman? Chris Caveman.
I'm gonna go with Eric Dampier.
Yeah.
He looks like he'll have some kind of flashback from some kind of childhood trauma and just rip you in two. You know what I mean? Black out and just rip you in two. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
Looking around what happened?
Yeah, he looks like he's been in a war.
Yeah.
He came back from Nam. You know what I mean?
And Caveman looks too much like a pothead, man. He looked like a blunt rolling, bong smoking. He not trying to fight nobody. He not trying to fight nobody.
No.
Looking like Big Lebowski with no hair, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the potheads out there. Hey.
Yeah, it's true. He probably is a pothead because when it gets that bad, your hair gets that bad, but you're smoking enough good stuff, you just don't care. You know what I mean? All right, so we got one. I gotta break the ties. So Dampier or Chris Caveman. Man, I remember watching Chris Caveman. I was like, he's actually pretty good. He wasn't too bad, but I was like, he looks crazy to me. He looked crazy to me. He was the craziest looking dude since Popeye Jones to me.
With the bald head and the strands, going with the comb over, that was crazy, right?
Nobody in the league had that going on. Nobody. Mm-hmm. And then Dampier was just a tank. Like I said, he's gonna have PTSD or something. I agree with you on that one, Max. So, but I'm gonna go with Chris Caveman just because I think he also has that farmer strength underneath there. He looks like, again, another hay baler who you just don't underestimate these guys. Yeah,
it's like a 3 or 4 hay.
Yeah, he's got steel in his knuckles. One of my best friend, he's been in so many fights, hockey fights and fights. He's a country boy. He doesn't have knuckles anymore. He's got a plate. A steel plate right here. And so I know these boys.
Plate in his hand. Wow.
Right here. Yeah, right on his knuckles because they're all gone. Yeah. So that Chris Caveman, I believe, might be from the same cloth. So Chris Caveman for the win. All right. So for shout outs, I want to shout out LeBron's stepdad, Delonte West.
Man, the low blow.
No,
the low blow.
But I don't want to shout him out for being LeBron's stepdad. I want to shout him out for I want to take this show to be able here and there to give shouts out to people who have been in struggles in their life and who have climbed out of those struggles. As we've spoke on before with some previous players, Delonte West is one of them. Delonte hit some real tough times that was also because social media was in the mix. It was on video. What was going on in this guy's life. So I just want to give a shout out to Delonte West for hopefully he's going to stay where he's at now, because I believe he's playing again in the Big Three, or he's playing again somewhere, and he got himself cleaned up. And so salute to you, Delonte West, for getting yourself cleaned up. Things are looking a lot better for you, because things look like it was beyond rock bottom for you. And I always got to give a shout out to guys who clean themselves up and get themselves together. So Delonte, not only did you smash LeBron's mom, but you also got yourself cleaned up. So keep on being LeBron's stepdaddy and do your thing.
It's rough out here, no man. I mean, he didn't yap himself. That's a win right there. He didn't shoot up 20 people in a grocery store. That's a win right there. Mm-hmm. So no matter how bad it got, he kept it together.
It was just dope. Yeah. So Delonte, good for you, man. I want to give a shout out real quick to I'd say the greatest Dallas Maverick ever, Dirk Nowitzki. I called him Dark. Okay, Dirk Nowitzki.
People like, who? What?
Yeah, Dirk Nowitzki, man, he brought a whole new style to the game. That Euro one step, boom, boom, boom.
Being that tall and being able to shoot like that.
Man, yeah, and winning that championship.
All these guys now, launching threes, these 7-footers like your Chets. And
no, they don't understand the
Dirk
Reggie
paved the way, man.
Reggie and Dirk were the real. I'm shooting these threes, and I don't care what anybody thinks. Type Cowboys back in the day,
Yeah, and that mid range he had with that fadeaway,
with the 1 foot, the 1 foot, yeah.
You can't touch that.
It's crazy.
I do love that Luka has that in his toolbox.
He does,
just especially because he plays on Dallas. It's super cool to see that.
Yeah. And one more. I want to give a shout out to I don't want to get his first name right. Eduardo Nájera. Because he was the first Mexican-born drafted in the NBA ever. And
okay.
I didn't know that. And
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so big shout out. And I just remember Nájera. He played so hard. Mm-hmm. He may not have filled the stat sheet, but that guy played so hard. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember that, but he was
I remember him. Yep.
Yeah, so shout out to Eduardo Nájera for being the first
Mexican. Okay. I remember there was a comedian had a great joke about there's no Mexicans in the league.
Well, he was dead wrong.
Yeah, but he was talking about like Andre Epe. He was talking about that kind of Mexican.
Oh yeah.
Sky had to go with the.
He was talking about that type of Mexican.
What's okay. What was that fucking Disney movie, man, with Speedy Gonzalez, man?
Randale.
Well, he had the two guns, man. Twin something.
Yeah, no, I know.
You know what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
With the mouse back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, but sorry, Eduardo, we don't mean any disrespect.
No, man. Shout out to Mexico.
Yeah, man. And last shout out, I want to give a shout out to another Dallas legend is Erykah Badu, because Erykah Badu, my wife and I, our wedding song was Erykah Badu, "Love of My Life."
Yeah, she's my favorite.
Yeah,
as far as R&B singers go, she's the queen.
And she's so creative, and I love that side of her, man. And Meatloaf, also rest in peace for having one of the worst names in music ever. Meatloaf.
He was a legend just before the music video era. Just before you had to look pretty, Meatloaf was a legend.
Sweating. He was doing interviews sweating. Meatloaf. And last one, Owen Wilson, another guy who went through some struggles, didn't know he was from Dallas. He went through his struggles, and he reportedly has cleaned his life together and got it right. So shout out to you.
Behind Enemy Lines is a classic.
Man. Yep.
And he's not even that type of actor. And he pulled off an action classic out of the blue. That was very impressive. Very, very impressive.
What was the movie he was with De Niro? Was it Meet the Parents, where he was like, I whittled this from Beechwood? That was so funny, man.
What was he, cousin Greg in that, or no? I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I whittled this from some Beechwood. Oh.
He was good in the first season of Loki too.
Yeah,
and also
great.
Wedding Crashers, classic.
Of course, Wedding Crashers. Come on, man. You don't even got. That's crazy.
Shout out Rachel McAdams, man. Went to York.
Shout out Rachel McAdams. Yep.
Shout out to Eric Watts 5000. If we're talking, since we're in Dallas, one of my favorite DJs.
No, what was it? Swisher House, right?
Yeah, I think it was Swisher House. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Swisher House. Yeah, it was Swisher House.
Yeah. Shout out. All right, so that was another edition of This or
That.
Brought to you by Popeye's Supplements. For all your moisturizing needs.
Yes.
All right, so let's go around quickly around. Let's go around the NBA real quick. I got one note. If you guys have any notes, shout them out. Basically, mine was going to be. What did I want to talk about? I think it has something to do with just shitting on LeBron. But you guys can throw that out there. Is there anything you want to chat about that's grabbed your eye?
Hey, speaking of shitting on LeBron.
Yeah, let's do it.
Last night, man. Last night against the Clippers, man. He shit on the Clippers and let them know.
Yeah, the Clippers are clipping again. The Clippers are clipping again, man.
Yes,
look at them Clippers.
You know, LeBron did some LeBron bullshit where he did that backflip headstand thing for no reason.
New.
But
New.
Shout out to LeBron because he dropped 19 or something.
Yeah.
I gotta. LeBron just dominated the Clippers, man. He wanted to let them know.
Oh, he dominated all his haters online. It wasn't nothing about no Clippers, man.
That was nice.
LeBron, Max, that was LeBron against the world.
Go into Max P right now and let LeBron know. Come on, let him know. Let him know. What you got?
Oh man, LeBron's a politician. I mean, but he got his shine last night.
Yeah.
I mean, Sean, when it don't count, that's good. And the Clippers keep on clipping. You can always count on the Clippers to keep on being the Clippers. I mean, how many wins in a row they get against the Lakers when everybody comes to a consensus that the Clippers are better than the Lakers, and now you pick a time to lose to LeBron. And
see, this is what I want to talk about.
Rub it in the face of all his haters and say, "Not yet. I'm still here. What did he say? I'm better than I've ever been." That's what he said. I'm better than I've ever been.
Yeah,
his non-defense playing, non-running back playing.
Hey, listen,
throw your teammates under the bus and throw a Knicks towel over the Lakers logo.
Trash.
Oh,
I'm gonna give LeBron credit for last night because last night, man, he was awesome. Clippers are bad. It was a combo of both.
He did his thing.
But I will say this, man. LeBron did some absolute kind of fuckery with his son the other week. Where he went online on Twitter and because Bronny got pushed to 2025 in the mock draft, right? They're like, he needs another year in school. He's not even a first rounder anymore or whatever. And he's like, oh, just let the kid play, man. He doesn't want nothing.
We were.
Given.
Yeah, we were. Exactly.
Nobody was saying this man was a first round pick except you went online and said yourself that he's better than your teammates and better than guys in the league.
Yes, sir.
And he said it was laughable. Now all of a sudden you're like, let him play? Nah, man. No. I don't accept that mostly because listen, LeVar Ball got a lot of shit when he was saying all this stuff about Lonzo and Jello and LaMelo, and people were clowning on LeVarAll, saying how he's a bad dad.
I like LeVar Ball better.
But the thing is, listen, he always boosted his kids, and he stuck with it, and he took the shit.
Yeah,
that guy is the definition of a good dad, man.
Yeah,
maybe his business venture wasn't that good, but whatever, man. LeBron, this guy's always talking some crazy shit, then backtracks, and then turns into a liar, man. So,
man, that was the best.
It's crazy because he's so famous, and everybody got nephews and kids and daughters and stuff out here, and the most famous basketball player does all this, bro. Well, we're not in the streets no more. We got to keep it clean. But man, sometimes certain rules and certain things are just the way it is, and
It's disgusting. It's so gross. It's so gross.
We can't let it all go.
What would you say in the? So we talked about this earlier. We have a group chat. I've mentioned this before. Max was like, he probably because he's talking about the basketball. Max was like, he probably just wants to play guitar.
Yes. We never heard him say he wants to play with his dad. That's what LeBron said. We never heard him say he's better than these Lakers. That's what LeBron said. We don't know nothing about this kid. We don't know nothing.
He's probably got a songbook under his mattress, and the first song at the top says, "I hate you, Dad."
I would not be surprised at all. The kid, we don't even know what his voice sounds like, this kid.
Every time we start talking about LeBron, we go in, and I'm going to put up that picture of you, Max, because we are going in. We are going in. So, all right, everybody, that's enough around the NBA. I got one question before we get out of here. I thought of a matchup today that, man, it would be a close one. So, who do you got? If we're talking about the Olympics, the Olympics, the U.S. Olympic team put out their roster. They got there hoping Embiid comes in and blah, blah, blah. So I thought, oh, man, the best team ever, though, was the 92 Dream Team with Chris Mullin and those guys at Stockton, Malone, Jordan, obviously, Barkley. Mm-hmm. So I got the 92 Dream Team versus this Toronto Raptors squad right now. Who do you got? Take some time if you need it. Take some time if you need it. Dream Team 92 versus this Raptor squad.
Oh, easy, man. We still got to roll, man.
Yeah, man, it's the Raps.
Oh, I love it, man. All right, next up, we got Golden State Warriors. The Bay is headed into the Scotiabank Arena, and it's going to be 7.
E40 and them.
Yes, sir. Yeah, speaking of E40, I thought about an old episode while I was running where we had E40 versus the Loonies. I don't know why it popped up, and I chose the Loonies. But I want to retract that.
No, it was the clique. It wasn't just E40. It was.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It was the groups from the Bay. Okay, yes. Because if it was E40, I would retract that and I would go to E40 because an E40 song popped in into my playlist while I was running. I'm like, yeah, this guy's crazy. He's crazy. Anyways, so yes, Golden State in Toronto tomorrow night, Friday night under the big lights, 7:30 p.m. What do you want to see quickly and coming into this one, boys?
A little bit more of the same. I don't care if they lose anymore. I mean, on record saying that over and over. Just a little bit more fun, a little bit more of the same. Let's get a little bit more of an identity. Each guy play the role well, and maybe see what Abaji's more about.
Yes,
because
good point.
I do like his energy.
Yes.
He's more of a project. And
yes,
I do think if any team or if any game you're going to play him in, it's probably this game against the Warriors because the Warriors are also playing a lot of young guys too. Wiggins is out for a bit. He's got like a little bit of a personal thing. Hopefully he's okay. But also, they're playing a lot of young guys. They're playing Podziemski. They're playing Kuminga, Moody.
Yep.
Who else? Trace Jackson Davis.
Who looks nice.
They're playing a lot of guys. So you know what? Match him up with guys that are more of his caliber. Let's see what he's all about. Not so much about like let's play him against older teams, right? Because older teams tend to make younger guys look really just kind of like sloppy and just erratic, right?
Love it.
So let's get him in that game. It seems more like a summer league fit.
Love it. What about you, Max? What do you want to see in this one against Golden State?
I want to see a fight. That's build some team unity.
You want to see an actual fight?
I don't want nobody to get hurt, but yeah, I want to see an altercation. Build some team unity, some team morale, not just some pizza, but something else to bring us together. Also all the stuff that A-Rod was talking about, like the young guys. Hopefully we can find a diamond in the rough and sell off another OG Anunoby for a good piece in return.
Yeah.
Like we build these diamonds and the league just takes them. There's good Raptors all over the league.
I'm with you, A-Rod. Abaji is you see something. There's something there.
There's something there, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, and he plays hard.
And it's crazy because you just got to see him do a couple of things, and you be like, "Hey, I kind of like this guy."
Yeah.
He jumps off the screen.
Yeah. For me, I just want them to go in like Ninja Man and just murder them, them. The original front tooth, Don Gorgon, just murder them. Oh man, that's where I want to see. That's what I want to see.
Shout out to all the yachties.
There it is. All right, boys, have yourself a good night, and to all you listeners out there, have yourself a good night. And like I've said before, tomorrow night is Friday night. Maybe after the Raptors game, why don't you go take your lady to go out to dance and have a little cheesecake later? That could be a nice little touch to the night, so that your lady can have a nice start to her weekend. So on that note, boys, have a good night. This was another episode of the Sports Ethos Toronto Raptor Podcast. And the Raptors tomorrow playing the Golden State Warriors. So let's just murder them and leave it at that. If you see that little heart, that means you have to touch it with your finger. Click it. That means like. And if there's a subscribe button, hit that too. That means like even more. Bye-bye.